Rage bait is the internet's quickest path to virality and fame. It's all the rage, no pun intended, nowadays. But what happens when we bring kids into the mix of a rage bait platform? Today, we are discussing the latest controversies surrounding Nurse Hannah, and we're going to talk about some of her viral moments, her tendency to rage bait, and how when children get caught in the crossfire of rage bait, it blurs the line between, is this borderline of parenting or is this just purely rage bait? But first, hey everyone, welcome back to De-Influenced. I'm Sasha, and here I dig into dinks. Yes, I do. I dig into influencer culture. One, so you guys don't have to, but two, to hold influencers accountable for their behaviors that affect their audience and their families, because it's not just about drama, it's about the real life impacts that they can have on those people. We are going to be dipping our toes into the lore surrounding Nurse Hannah. She has been requested to me a couple times because, surprise, surprise, she's connected to Nika. Because of course she's connected to Nika Diwa. Takes one to know one, right? And I also want to talk about this whole relatable mom era and how these influencers are normalizing disgusting, not okay behavior. And even if you do it, should you post it and, be proud of it, I guess. So let's go, guys. For those of you that don't know what rage bait is, it's basically content that is designed to invoke a very strong reaction, oftentimes outrage or that shock value. The problem with this is that it feeds into the notion of anything can be content, and it's often at the expense of others. And in this case, it seems to be Hannah's children that are suffering from this. When we involve children in rage bait, well, that gets very dangerous very quickly. And the thing is building a platform like that can have real world impacts on their well-being. This is how Hannah built her platform. A lot of people are alleging that everything she posts is pure rage bait. And it makes me so sad for the kids because all their parents are doing is trying to go viral or trying to get a whole bunch of money. They don't have any other consequences in mind, and it's like they can't see 30 seconds past what they're doing. One of Hannah's most notable viral moments was the 17 diapers incident. Have you heard about it? I had no idea what this was about, and when I was doing research with Nika and the deep dive in all of that, I saw them together, and at that point I had no idea who Hannah was. I didn't realize that she was the one that started the viral diapers trend. And can I just say, it's not okay. Can we not normalize crap like this? Because in this whole relatable mom era that I alluded to earlier, it's like they're trying to make abuse and neglect and the bad parenting normalized. And I don't think that's okay. So in this case, she's walking around collecting all these dirty diapers that are scattered all over her house.
Let's pick up all the dirty diapers I have lying around my house right now. I kid you not, my guess is probably 15. I don't own a diaper pail or a diaper genie or whatever they're called. They just kind of get thrown around my house and then we just collect them in a bag at the end of the day and take them out to the dumpster. So I've been solo parenting for the last 24 hours, so we're gonna see how many dirty diapers we have just lying around with 2 kids. I promise you, I'm not even exaggerating, this has only been 24 hours. So I'm counting just 4 diapers right here on the coffee table. Found another one up behind the couch. Oh, found 2 more. So far that's what, 7 diapers, I'm pretty sure. That's just down here in the kitchen living room area. Let's go upstairs. I already know this is gonna be so bad. Okay, so right away I'm seeing 1, 2, 3 diapers. That's 8. Then into the bedroom. This is the corner of what my side of the bed looks like at night. It's embarrassing, I know. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think if I counted right, that's 17 diapers lying around my house. No wonder my house freaking stinks right now.
And she's done it again since then as a flex. She has the bag in her hand, and she's like, how many diapers are lying around my house? Take a guess. And this is gross. guys, like, I understand being in the thick of postpartum and having 2 under 2. I don't know if she has 2 under 2. I don't know how old her older son is, but I've been there. And leaving a diaper lying around here or there, getting back to it after, whatever, like that, okay, fine. But 17 scattered everywhere throughout your house. In the second one that I watched, she had like 5 at the top of the staircase. Why? Why would there be like 5 diapers just lying at the top of the staircase? And that makes you start to think, okay, maybe this is more so rage bait, right? Versus this is what actually happens. Because at a certain point, it's like, there's just no way. This is disgusting. And I don't think we should be normalizing stuff like this. If we want to normalize something, normalize going and helping the friends that are going through it postpartum and that aspect of it. Don't normalize neglect and disgusting behavior. It's the same sort of stuff we saw with the Jenkins, right? This dirty living condition and fleas and lice and all this stuff for months on end. They can't get rid of it. That stuff isn't okay. It's not okay to normalize these kinds of living conditions. Kids are messy, sure, but leaving almost 24 diapers lying around is unhealthy and probably... What's wrong, guys? Why are you hissing? I don't know why we're not getting along back there. I like what some people on Reddit were saying, how other people are making content surrounding this person's negligence towards her children and household and don't realize that's where it came from. And now it's this big viral thing where everyone's like, yeah, let's normalize this disgusting behavior. No? Maybe no. Can we not, please? This isn't just relatable content. It's creating an exaggerated amount of chaos. If her platform is purely rage bait, then you can assume that this 17 diapers and the second one she did, however many diapers she found then, is rage bait. And if that's the case, then we are making content out of being negligent. And that shouldn't be a thing. We shouldn't be normalizing this kind of stuff. And when kids are involved and the focus is more so on the content creation and you're neglecting basic care for your kids and basic sanitary measures for your children, that's where the line needs to be drawn. That's where your children just become props in your content. And now you're going to enrage people and have people speak out against you and pick apart every little incident that happens. And that's what happened with her most recent cancellation. A few days ago, someone reached out to me and asked if I knew what was going on with Nurse Hannah. And I was like, no, what's going on? The person was like, well, her son flinched at her husband. And I was like, okay, what happened? When I tell you my heart broke, I'm not exaggerating. I was so gutted when I saw this little boy's reaction. And then I started thinking and processing stuff and looking at what was going on. So let's take a look at that first video that went viral for all the wrong reasons. And of course, she quickly dirty deleted it because like she was getting a lot of backlash. And now today is December 4th, 2024. As of 9 hours ago, she has officially turned off comments because I guess the heat's getting a little too hot. Whereas just a couple days prior to that, she was saying, oh, this is funny. Oh, it's just a joke. Ruby Frankie 2.0, that's so funny. Girl, that's the type of rage bait that content creators should never feed into, ever. Why would you do that? Because now people are going to go through, like people have already, and look at every single incident that can be considered abuse towards your children, and they are going to call you out on it. And that's why she's shut off her comments, because the internet is ruthless. And if you choose to rage bait and then put your children at the center of it, people are going to be outraged. And if you're not going to stand up for your innocent babies and protect them, then the public is going to do so for you. So I don't know, guys. Here is the original video that went viral about a week ago. Trigger warning, guys, because this is a bit of a hard watch. And if you don't see it at first, I want you to go back and watch it again, because he's full on protecting himself. He's having a meltdown. He's clearly having a hard time. Did you see that? Did you see his poor little face when his dad approached him? Look at him. He's scared. That is a kid who is scared he's going to get smacked or punished. I'm sorry. I don't care what anyone else says. The look of pure fear on this poor baby's face says it all. I was like, well, my kids are neurospicy kids, 2 out of 4 at least. And they're really jumpy and really flinchy, to be honest. They are. And so I was like, oh, okay. And went and tested this on my kids, go to hand them something or come quickly at them. And yeah, they flinched, but they didn't have a look of fear in their face. It was kind of just like, whoa, something's coming at me, a typical response. And I did it multiple times over multiple different scenarios so that I could kind of like sneak it. A lot of other parents are doing this too. And why? Well, because apparently her response to this whole situation is a whole nother ball game. So let's take a look at that now. I haven't seen it. I wanted to save it to blind react with you guys because I heard that she tries to justify it as, normal. Girl, if you think that's normal, like, does anyone know? Do I have any techies in my groupie group that know why my headset over Bluetooth would be choppy while I'm recording? Is it just because my computer is not powerful enough to do both those things? Because that sucks if that's the case, but here we are. Okay, so Nurse Hannah's response.
So the fact that you even have to address this right now is kind of insane. Social media is it's a scary place. And I never understood people that much when they said they couldn't share their kids' faces online or they couldn't share much about their kids. I didn't really understand it. But it's crazy. If you were to know me in real life, this whole lazy husband thing, it's satire. My husband is the sweetest, nicest, kindest, most loving, most nurturing father in the entire world. He is playing on the ground with James like 90% of the day. If that man is not laughing, having
Notice
fun,
how she's not looking at the camera this entire time that she's saying, he's such a great dad. He's playing on the ground constantly. If he's not laughing and having fun,
teasing him, playing with him, whatever it is, then I don't know, then something's wrong, because those two have the strongest bond, the strongest father-son bond that I know of anyone else. And it makes me really sad that social media has turned it into something, or me, maybe it's, it makes me sad that I guess I've turned it into something like that. I don't know. In the video that
yeah, you are 100% to blame, exactly. Because if you build a rage bait satire platform, but come across as genuine, which is something that Nika does. They're like literally on the same page. They're one and the same. They put forth this relatable mom content, which is not relatable and purely rage bait in order to get clicks and views. And that's dangerous. What kind of damaging parenting crap are you insinuating? And then it's with Nika, with that one video of what's a healthy level of fear for a toddler. There isn't one. Your kids shouldn't fear you. That's not a way to earn their respect and have them respect you. That's just going to make them sneakier. It's really sad.
you guys are all freaking out about, they're just playing. They're always playing. They're always playing where they scare each other. James is obsessed with dinosaurs and bears, and when they look away and they come back and they scare each other, and they play, like when they throw something, they'll play throw it, you like psych them out, and they flinch and whatever. Like that's what they're always doing. They're always like hiding behind couches and jumping at each other and chasing each other around the house and up the stairs and down the stairs and tackling each other. They're always playing constantly.
So why was he terrified? He had the look on his face, but he also went like this. It wasn't like he was trying to stop something being thrown at him. It wasn't oh my gosh, dad's approaching me quickly. Body language matters. Facial expressions matter. And why did he calm down right away after? Well, because he got given some mochi. Yeah, you can have this as a treat. The scariest part in all of this, from someone with kids who are not neurotypical, is the fact that this is happening during a meltdown, because neurospicy kids have meltdowns. And I don't know, it's my gut feeling. I literally just saw on Reddit like 40 minutes ago, someone also asked the same question, but From what I've seen, and he's constantly like melting down, which means that his needs aren't being met. By the way, like if your kid is constantly melting down, for the most part, it's sensory needs and physical needs not being met. With this happening during a meltdown, that makes me think that whenever dad approaches him when he's having those big feelings, it's aggressively, allegedly, because I feel as though if he was in a good mood, it would have been what she's talking about. She would have gone, and went to catch it or whatever, or just like jump back. That sort of thing. He wouldn't have had a terrified look like he was about to get punished on his face. He wouldn't have tried to protect his face, which the fact that he's trying to protect it, anyway.
I'm trying to talk to my husband. I can't because he's always playing with my son. Nothing's going on. From the moment that my husband wakes up in the morning to the second he goes to bed, he is only thinking about our children and our family and what's best for us. There's never... I promise, and when I promise this, I'm serious. Nothing is going on. I don't really owe anyone an explanation. I could just be like everybody else, and when stuff like this happens, I could just keep quiet, and I thought about keeping quiet and just kind of letting it blow over. But I thought, I don't want that. I don't even want the thought of that out there. I don't want anyone to suspect anything, to that even be questioned whatsoever.
And it's funny because now the thought's out there and people are digging up videos like this one.
I know why every woman knows how to eat while holding a baby, but the second you give that baby to the husband, to the male, they're like, I'm eating, I can't hold the baby. Me too. Like, I just know how to hold the baby and eat. Like, it's a thing. I promise everyone knows that. The second you start to eat yourself, that's when the baby cries. 100%, 10 times over, that's just how the babies just know it. They just know it. Anyway, to eat yourself, that's when the baby cries. 100%, 10 times over, that's just how the babies just know it. They just know it. Anyways.
With her newborn being placed down aggressively, or we found a video like this one where she is very visibly annoyed constantly with her older son. So for her to sit here and try to try to convince us that nothing's going wrong and try so hard is a red flag. Sorry, Hannah.
We do not love our children, that we do not treat them with anything other than love. Like, it's crazy. There's nothing.
I don't believe that you were about to cry. I don't believe you. I don't feel the tears. I can feel tears. Don't feel those tears. That's her explanation to it. So it's a typical response because they're always playing, always fighting, always this, always that. So again, that's why all these people are now going and testing it out on their own kids, going to hand them something, going up to their face and stuff like that. I saw this one this morning where the mom's literally like going like this up to her toddler, like this, up to her toddler's face. And he's like, because that is a typical response. The reason I wanted to bring neurodivergence up is because neurodivergent kids are naturally more jumpy most of the time, depending on what it is. But kids with autism and ADHD, they're a little higher strung, I guess you could say. But even with neurospicy kids, they didn't flinch like that. The blocking, the protection, and the look of fear on that baby's face, it's undeniable. No, girl. And then people are starting to compare her to Ruby Frankie. So here you go, Ruby Frankie 2.0, which she thinks apparently is hilarious. So let's take a listen.
The fact that I'm even being compared right now to Ruby Frankie is absolutely comical. It's hilarious, again. Really.
Oh my God, pause, please. Why are you feeding into this? And be like, this is laughable, blah, 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 blah. Because again, now people are digging into your old content. They're digging everything up on you and being like, listen, what you're doing with your children, the way you're treating your children, especially your older son, is not okay. And I'm talking physically here. Every parent has the right to discipline their children how they please. And if she believes in spanking, then so be it. However, a spank is never supposed to ever leave a mark. And it has been proven time and time again that it is not the most effective way to correct behavior. Also talking about how she actually physically handles him on the day-to-day, not about the punishment aspect of it, so spanking or anything like that. The fact that she is constantly yanking up on his arms, and that's how she lifts him into things, lifts him out of things, and it's often with one arm, that's not okay. You are never supposed to lift up a child by their arms. It can do so much damage to their joints, to their muscles, to their development, to their neck. Like, it's not a good way or a safe way to handle a child, and it's also really disrespectful to their body, in my opinion. And if you think about, if you were in bed and your nurse came to help you out of bed and you were super weak because you were sick and she yanked you up by your arms, like, that's not comfortable if the person's not braced for it, right? And offering their hand to be helped up that way. And myself, I've done the most hours in nursing on a maternity floor, and I did my consolidation there. It's where I have my most practice. And I want to say that there's a huge difference between being confident handling a baby and what she does. A lot of times in the hospital, people will be like, oh my gosh, you're like whipping the baby around. And you're like, well, no, I'm just swaddling them and, rolling them and doing it safely, supporting their head, neck, and doing their little neuro check when they come to the floor and stuff like that, doing the assessment. And people are fascinated at how confident we are and how confidently we can move the babies, because everyone thinks, oh, it's a newborn, it's so fragile, which yes, they are. You have to support their head and neck at all times because they have no control over it. And they can hurt themselves, but they can be picked up and handled and burped, stuff like that. So there's a huge difference between being confident and safely handling a newborn and what she does. She allows his head to hang which way she's standing. She put him down head first in the video we saw together, and just the way she moves around with him, it's not safe. And she has an audience that she's promoting this kind of treatment and handling of children to an audience, a large audience. That's dangerous. That's teaching people that it's okay to handle kids like this, that it's okay to move newborns and just like drop them onto the couch and leave them propped up with a bottle, and all these things that her as a nurse should know are safe or harmful, we're seeing on camera. And that's terrifying. And if we circle back to everything is rage bait for Hannah, if this is rage bait, I cannot believe she would take it this far and not think there would be consequences. Like, I genuinely cannot believe that. Which means it's not rage bait, which means it's real life, which isn't better, But anyway, this tangent side note edition has been long enough, so let's get back to the video. And for you to clap back and be like, like, I'm not really, no, stop. It gets to a certain point where the rage bait has to stop, and that's why she turned off her comments, because it's a little too heated right now.
Nowadays, where people will turn nothing into something. We live in a world where people are so desperate to become TikTok famous, they will post about anything in order to get views for themselves.
Right, like you. Right? You post anything at the expense of your children to rage bait, to elicit a response in order to get views. Anything for attention, right?
They don't care if it's going to bring someone down with it. They just want to become TikTok famous. The fact that my children are happy, they're healthy, well-nourished, they're running around playing, that should be a pretty good indicator that everything's just fine. It's great. They always have a clean bum and never have a dirty diaper on. The fact that
well, I know they're lying all over your house. Obviously, they never have a dirty diaper on.
I'm not changing my kid's diaper when they pee. I've never done that. I'm not changing my kid's diaper when they pee. I've never done that.
Even a thing right now is something that it really is. It truly is really funny.
I don't think you're finding this very funny, to be honest. I don't think you're finding this very funny. I wouldn't be.
Honestly, with social media nowadays, I can sit down and eat a sandwich and that would be controversial for some reason.
No, I don't think so. Unless you made it rage bait, then yeah, sure. Like something ridiculous that's disgusting that you're just going to throw in the garbage or like something like that, then sure, yeah, it'd be controversial. But I don't think so. I think if you did normal content and also weren't super mean to your toddler, I think you'd be fine.
I've had a lot of friends in my life ask me how to get started on social media and on TikTok specifically, and I've always told them, only do it if you have ridiculously thick skin. You cannot post your life on social media if you don't have thick skin.
So why'd you turn off comments, Hannah? Thick skin's wearing a little thin, but that's great. It's great that she was forced to turn off comments. Why? Because that's less engagement. She's gonna fall off the algorithm, especially if she decides to keep them off. Before we move on to the whole food stuff, I want to show you guys the one where she is genuinely just annoyed at her son's existence. And I feel as though if I dig more into her stuff, we're going to find more and more evidence about her genuinely hating being a mom. Just like Nika. I mean, takes one to know one, right? Obviously, they're friends. They both hate being moms. Look at her face. And like, he's going through it. He's upset about something. And look at her face. You think that your child doesn't feel this energy? I guarantee they do. And because you have this kind of energy around him all the time, or this like, I don't care energy, that's why his behaviors are not desirable in your opinion. Do you see that? Like, you going like this? That's an aggressive response. Yeah, I get she's annoyed, and we all do it. We all get annoyed with our kids, right? But she's posting this to the internet, encouraging this kind of behavior, this kind of treatment towards children, this is a normal mom. No. A normal parent wakes up every day with the intentions to do their best, try their best. And when they mess up, they say sorry, apologize to their kids, reconnect, and move on the next day and try again the next day. But it's 5 a.m. here. She doesn't even have her contacts in already, and she's already pissed off at him and done with the day. I've woken up annoyed with the day already. We all do, especially if you don't sleep. They're in a hotel. I get all of that. But now we have the flinching. Now we have the people picking apart, like the fact that they don't feed him really, and the fact that they get treats and get to stuff their face and he doesn't even get a French fry off the platter and stuff like that. And when you compound all of the things, well, that becomes a lot less okay. Ew, also like your 1,000th UTI of the year, like that's TMI. Get better hygiene, please, because like what the fuck? I know chronic UTIs are a thing. If you have chronic UTIs, I love you, and I know you have good hygiene, but like, we know her hygiene's not on point. She has piles of diapers lying around her entire house. Karma. That was karma poking yourself in the eye. Just some skincare and putting on deodorant, which like I don't. So this is one of her viral moments. Work a 12-hour shift with me. I'm a nurse, and today I worked as a CNA the whole shift. Lucky, yeah. I'm just gonna put this on 2-speed because I don't really care.
I've been noticing today I worked the floor as a CNA for the whole 12 hours, and it was absolutely chaotic, so come on. Now I know what it's like. Keep busting your butt off the CNA. You go over to the freaking nurse's station, and there's like 2 or 3 nurses just sitting on their phone. Oh my gosh, I was so sick. I worked with these folks, especially working both sides, you understand what it is. This is like my 2nd or 3rd shift to CNA. Like as a nurse, I'm a CNA, and this is chaotic. I don't know what the patients today, but it was just non-stop crazy all day long. Everybody had the runs. Nobody likes their meals. They all want us to be an alternative. People were using the shower, but they said they didn't yesterday, so today. I just don't know how to manage my time as a CNA. I need to get better at it. So I was running like crazy. I felt like my whole day was just like spent with the volume, letting my beats, letting me I definitely took an extra long bathroom break just to sit down for a minute. I have the next nurse in school, so that gave me a little bit of PTSD, like getting a granola bar in the bathroom in nursing school because when I sit down for a break. Honestly, it's really good for you to have the CNA shift. I don't super enjoy it. It's hard, but I know that it's good for me and it's going to make me better.
That was a little bit of oversharing about your patients. Just saying. Just saw someone say, how do we go from she deserved the purse to shaming a mom for 17 diapers? In all actuality, the support I have received is like no other. The supportive videos outweigh the negativity and bullying. I know it was pretty divided. And again, the trenches of postpartum, I get it, but like, it's a no. 17, 2 or 3. I can be there in a pile next to the change station. I can be there. Why there's not a garbage next to I don't know. Doesn't matter. I also changed my kids all over the house. So I get not having like a change station. I get that. But 17, and I had 2 under 2. So I know diapers. 17. Okay. So at the end of the day, the 17 diapers might not be like inherently harmful. It is a huge sanitary issue and a health hazard. Neglecting your kids' basic hygiene, like she says they always have a clean bum.
I'm not changing my kid's diaper when they pee. I've never done that. Do you know how expensive diapers are? I have friends and people that I know that like, oh, they peed, we have to change their diaper. And I'm like, they peed? Literally, I will change his diaper if he poops. Or if it's like a very full diaper.
So basically you're telling us that those 17 dirty diapers that you left laying around were full of shit, much like you. Got it. And this goes without saying, but you don't leave a kid in a soggy ass pamper for too long because, hello, diaper rash. And she's talking about diapers are expensive, even though she and her husband go out to eat every chance they get. This sandwich cost $17. This lady hates her children, and you cannot convince me otherwise, because why would she lock her son in his room at night? That is such a safety hazard. That is a fire hazard. And then somebody said in one of her videos, like when she opens the door, you can see him like sleeping on the floor.
So then I got up and I got dressed and I checked on James and I felt like actual death leaving my house today. So pray for me because
laying on the floor, waiting for somebody to come get him, my heart.
Let's get ready and talk controversial ways that I parent my kid. When it comes to vaccines and giving medications to my kid, I do so much research and I'm so hesitant with all of it. I am not afraid to tell my kid no, and I will tell him no several times a day.
That's for damn sure.
This one's mom's water.
That baby is so thirsty.
I cleaned the house for 3 hours, so I could have this. Last but not least, I'm a mom to an 18-month-old, and I'm sorry, but a pat on the bum doesn't hurt them. It helps them in the long run.
She says that, but people have already shared and screenshotted images of what looks like bruises on her toddler's body. I can't show them here, obviously. Also, if she don't support that baby's neck, oh my God.
Normalizing this for the sake of views, for the sake of content and TikTok virality is not okay. We have to start holding public figures and influencers at a higher standard. And when you build a rage bait platform, Hannah, I'm sorry, but when stuff like that comes up, people are never going to let you live it down. Why? Because you built a platform based on pissing off the internet. And people don't take kindly to child abuse. Just saying. This kind of content isn't relatable. It's purely designed to spark outrage, to spark a strong reaction, whether it's people laughing and being like, haha, this is relatable, because, you know, they're in the trenches of postpartum as well, or people outraged and commenting. Regardless of which side you're on, the emotion was elicited and you are engaging with the content. And that's what rage bait is all about, because at the end of the day, some people who think along the same lines as these people are going to find it relatable and engage with it. Oh, it's so nice. Finally, someone's talking about blah, 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 whatever the BS. We also have these weird restrictive food allegations that I also want to go through. Now, it has been seen multiple times that Nurse Hannah and her husband, whatever his name is, I don't even know what his name is, I haven't even bothered to look because I don't care, they constantly get takeout and stuff their faces full of food and consistently exclude their toddler. I showed it quickly earlier, the video of him flicking his hand away from a plate of food. I think he does it twice. He swoops it away and then actually flicks it away. And there have been a lot of people that have been digging up videos of them just being very controlling over food. That's not okay. We have the double standard of them constantly stuffing their face with fast food and then allegedly only allowing their kids to eat healthy greens and veggies and healthy food. Now, that creates that unfairness. And it really, really reminds me of the Turpin House of Horrors. Like, that's the vibes I'm getting. Or even at that Ruby Frankie, they all control food and they use food or taking away food as a form of punishment, which is nuts that that's a thing and that we're here today using food against people, especially children. Because what is that creating? It's creating an unhealthy relationship with food and it weaponizes food. How is that kid going to grow up then? They're not going to grow up enjoying food. They're going to grow up messed up. And only allowing them to eat healthy food and never allowing them to indulge in anything else is going to cause binge behavior later on in life. They're going to hide, they're going to hoard, they're going to binge because they've never been allowed to learn moderation and how to balance out a meal, a week, a day, whatever. They never learn that because it's always been hyper restrictive. And also we have to look at this whole like do as I say, not as I do type mentality, right? Enforcing these super strict rules on the children and then stuffing your face in front of them. Like it's just, you can't do that with kids. If you want to raise healthy eaters, cook a meal with them, sit down with them, get them involved. Eat what they're eating. Encourage them to eat new things and try new things. There are so many other ways other than just completely restricting the yummy stuff and only giving them the boring kid stuff, you know?
I think I have something controversial to say, and it kind of pains me to say it. I was a full-time stay-at-home mom for 5 weeks while I was postpartum, and then I went back to work for a week. I'm still very part-time at work. Like I'm working probably like 2 shifts a week as a nurse. It kind of pains me to say it, but I don't think I'm meant for the stay-at-home mom type of lifestyle. Maybe I'm just not used to it, but I feel like every single day I get beaten up by my toddler. I was literally telling my husband yesterday that I felt so defeated as a mom today. Lately, me and my 2.5-year-old just seem to butt heads all day long. Taking care of a newborn I feel like is so much easier than taking care of a toddler.
Well, yeah. Taking care of a newborn is so much easier than taking care of a toddler. Have you ever met a toddler before in your life?
My husband's work is pretty part-time too. Like his actual workload depends on the day. Sometimes it's nothing, sometimes it's like jam-packed. It really just depends on the day. I'd say most days, like we're pretty much co-parenting, and I still feel like I'm getting beat up by a toddler. There are some days where that man won't turn off his phone, or he thinks he's so much busier than me and can't take care of the kids. Like, I'm sorry, sir, you're at home, you're not working. You can take care of the kids just as much as I can. Men feel like if they're texting somebody or if they're on their phone, they can't take care of the kids at the same time. Like, hello, it's called multitasking. Every single woman and mother does it. Like, why can't a man do it, you know?
I didn't hear that originally. That's why she said the whole lazy husband stuff. Well, that didn't sound very satirical to me. And do you see where the line gets drawn between I'm trying to be this relatable mom and oh no, everything I say is satirical. So which one is it? How can you now satire or whatever is going to be an excuse for everything she gets called out for? Oh, well, it was just a joke. Freaking Daddy-O-5. It's just a joke, bro. That's what it's going to result in. And that's not okay. That is skirting any type of accountability and, you know, skirting becoming a better person because, oh, it was just funny. No, it wasn't. You are annoyed because you're burnt out because you're a nurse and have 2 kids. Obviously, one that's really busy, a toddler. Toddlers are busy, and a newborn. You saying that your husband's on his phone all day and can't bother to like take care of the kids. Even if that was satirical, that's not funny. It's pure rage bait. Okay, so if we jump over back to Reddit, a pat on the bum doesn't hurt them, it helps them. Yeah, she's constantly yanking at his arms. I agree. Oh my God. Can't even get myself ready for bed at 2:10 a.m. Yeah, okay. Well, that's silly. So her toddler's on a bed, her infant baby is on a bed propped up with a bottle while she's in the bathroom. Cool. Love that for these kids. Please don't prop his bottles. It's dangerous. He's very little. What do you mean? They can aspirate. As someone who recently lost her 2-month-old because of this. Yeah, that's holy shit. Oh my God. Sorry, I got distracted, guys. This girl sucks. We'll go look at food. Why does he never have his own food? New here, so going through her page for the first time. Those 2 heifers are always stuffing their faces with food. And expensive takeout food at that. And the son literally gets scraps that he's able to grab before they snatch it away. WTF. And when they go to restaurants, he has to sit and watch them house their food. They are so gross. They are both bullies. I'm so worried about this little boy. What bothers me is how confident Hannah is. It's so effing annoying. She talks like every word that comes out of her mouth is the sacred word of God, and she thinks she's an authority. She is an authority on everything. She's incapable of questioning herself or any self-reflection. It's like they hate him. then the video of him flicking his hand away. Why can't he have a fry? Like, just let him take one. I don't understand what the big deal is. Like, just let him take a fry. Then he'll stop grabbing at stuff, right? Oh, I'm not allowed this. I'm hungry, so I'll grab this. Oh, no, I'm not. Okay, cool. And then he probably had a meltdown. And then he probably got in trouble for having a meltdown. It's really concerning. Okay, here's the spanking video. I didn't even know they spanked their kids.
Morning to now 7:30. I mean, I know technically it's like now 7:30 is technically, it used to be 8:30, you know, like it's the same exact time. But just knowing that the clock says 7:30 and I'm out of my bed on a non-work day, yeah, no, that's not happening. So to those parents that are waking up with their kids at 4 in the morning or 5 in the morning, how? I just want to say, how do you function? I was up with my 6-week-old 3 times last night, which is 1 time more than what we usually do. And I wanted to rip my hair out when I woke up at 7:30 to James banging on his door trying to get out. Yes, we do lock his door at night so he can't get out. So him banging on the door is how he wakes us up in the morning. Crazy.
That is crazy. That's a whole nother level of crazy. You're right. But not on his end, on yours. As if you lock your toddler in his room at night. That's one of the most horrific things ever. Could you imagine being a tiny little boy who wakes up in the middle of the night because he had a nightmare and he can't get out of his room and it's dark and it's scary? My youngest is the same age as her eldest and he's out of bed. Sometimes he actually has been sleeping the whole night the last couple nights. Thank goodness. Thank you. And is also a very early riser, but he also goes to bed early, so it's kind of my own fault. I gotta shift him a little bit. But I understand the exhaustion that comes with getting up and taking them potty and bringing them back to bed and stuff like that. But to lock your child in their room, what if there was an emergency of some kind? What if there was a fire and he was the first one that woke up and can't get to you? Literally, anything can happen. You are supposed to be this kid's safety, his comfort, and you lock him away so he doesn't bother you in your beauty rest? Isn't that the most disgusting thing you've ever heard in your life? Someone sent me another video of her saying that she locks him in his room, and I believe also trying to justify it. A non-typical night routine before a 12-hour shift. I worked day shift as a nurse with 2 hours of sleep last night. Yeah, I feel you.
I worked day shift as a nurse today with 2 hours of sleep last night, and it all started when I went to bed at 2 o'clock in the morning. Now, you might be asking why I chose to do this. And to that, I would say we were with some friends watching the Mike Tyson fight till super late last night, and then it started snowing, so it took us forever to get home. And normally I would have asked to stay the night, but I had to work the next day, and I am not one that calls in sick to work, ever. I don't really care how tired or sick I am, I'm going to work. Like, if I call in sick to work, you know something is real bad with me. But anyways, we got home at almost 2 a.m. and then of course I had to get the baby out and I had to feed the baby and change the baby and get the baby swallowed. You know, all while my husband said he had to go to the bathroom, of course. I realized I forgot to pump and it had been like 7 hours since I had pumped and I literally just said, F it, I'm going to bed.
But she's defending her husband, who basically ditched her. Perfect.
Not pumping. My husband literally told me, like, dude, you're gonna regret that in a few hours when your boobs are going to explode and you have to wake up in the middle of the night. And to that I said, it's already the middle of the night, so who cares at this point, you know? And what I was really hoping and praying for is that with putting him to bed so late at like 2 o'clock in the morning, I was hoping that he wouldn't wake up until around like 5 when I would get up for the day. Yeah, no, I was out of my mind when I thought that was gonna happen. That's too easy, you know? He woke up at 3:30, which is only an hour of sleep for me, and then I put him back to sleep and then woke up at 5:15. And yes, my boobs indeed did feel like they were going to explode, so I had to hurry and pump before going to work. So then I got up and I got dressed and I checked on James and I felt like actual death leaving my house today. So pray for me because this was gonna be a rough one. And you already know we need an Alani, so Alani, hook your girl up.
Is he on the floor? I don't know where this child is. He is right here, isn't he? Is that him? It is. He's lying on his back right here on the floor. Which means he was probably trying to get to his parents and had a meltdown and laid down in defeat and went to sleep. And then relocks the door. Why bother checking on him at all? You're just gonna leave him. Anyway, that That's heartbreaking. So also, again, propping her baby to feed him. And here's one justifying why they locked the door. Can't wait to hear this.
Well, at what point do our babies stop throwing up all over the freaking place? I know newborns spit up all over the place, but I don't remember it being this bad. I took him to the pediatrician a few weeks ago, and he literally put him on some sort of like cat food formula. I kid you not, he sent me home with 10 full-size containers of this formula that smelled exactly like cat food. I don't exactly remember what that cat food was called. All I know it was in a purple container, and that we used it for about 2 days until I gave up. Because he didn't throw up any less while on it. He threw up the exact same amount, but then he would just smell like cat food afterwards. And then if you would throw up on the couch or the blankets or my clothes,
If you change his clothes or your clothes, you won't smell like cat food anymore, just saying.
then that would smell like cat food. I'd much rather smell like breast milk or spit up or whatever rather than cat food. But anyways, happy Sunday. James woke up today bright and early banging on his door. A lot of you guys freak out that I lock his door at night, and to that I will say it's 100% legal and just for safety reasons. But that does mean that I wake up to him pounding on his door every single morning. Or he's always playing with that little doorstop ding-a-ling-a-ling thing that's...
It is 100% legal and for safety reasons. Doesn't make it right. Just because it's legal to put your kids in jail in their own home doesn't make it morally right. I don't know why that needs to be said out loud. Or safe. She says it's for safety reasons. Again, what if there was a fire? And then they're like running around and then you have that delay of unlocking the door. I know it's just a door, but man. And then this poor kid wakes up terrified every morning. So he's waking up every morning completely dysregulated. And you wonder why your days are hard with a toddler who's dysregulated, who probably doesn't feel safe in his own home because he's going to be put in jail or can't come to his parents with his big feelings. Like, the justification, guys.
That's how I wake up every single morning. Or it's to a newborn screaming. It's one or the other. Nowadays, it's not a pleasant way to wake up ever. I have one of those Hatch alarm clocks. You're supposed to wake up to like birds and sunrises and stuff. But let's be real. When am I ever using them? Maybe check back in like 10 years and I'll be using it then. Because before then, there's never a peaceful way to wake up.
Okay, so I asked someone who sent me the videos of him being locked in his room and the justification. I was like, have you been following the lore for a while? What's up? And I'll ask them if I can share this, but I always love including other people's opinions on this because let's be real, I'm just, like I said in the last video, a troll or a mean girl or a bully, you know? So here's someone else's opinion. I first saw her videos when she refused prenatal care as a nurse, and her reasons were ridiculous. When she got huge for the 17 diapers, I was shocked she had support. I thought it was absolutely vile. To be so honest, I thought that whole trend just gave people an excuse to share horrible takes. Yeah, 100%. 100%. I didn't see her videos regularly enough to see the abuse and neglect of her kids, but in all of the videos I see now, I think she's just really a negative girl. She made a video saying calling off work for mental health is lazy, yet she checked out of being a useful mom on the 17 diapers video, so maybe don't be a hypocrite, lol. No. My biggest issue with her is she says canceling people isn't real, which is a huge indicator that she doesn't believe in accountability. She spreads really dangerous information and attitudes, and it's just, I don't like how I feel when I see her videos. Yeah, the vibes. Definitely. I also think it's important to note that she made videos saying how horrible her husband is, but turns around and says it's a joke. But she talks about how he controls their finances heavily. Just lots of subtle, not subtle red flags when you watch all her videos. Okay, so clearly a deep dive is needed. Right, guys? And I will continue to look into Nurse Hannah because even just what we've covered so far, I don't even know how long I've been filming for. So I'm going to wrap this up now. I think I covered the big things that I wanted to cover. But overall, this is just bad news bears. Honestly, you can't throw someone under the bus and then say it's just a joke. You can't say that you want to be relatable and then say everything's satire when people call you out because you're not relatable. It doesn't work that way, and it plays on the trust of your audience because now who knows what's real? And also, as I've said this entire time, when you build a rage bait platform and then bring kids into it, people are going to be that much more outraged and they are going to skim through all your content. Like she said, don't be a content creator. It's not if you don't have thick skin. Or maybe don't post signs of abuse, or maybe just don't abuse your children. I mean, that's probably a better way to go with it. But you can't be a hypocrite. You can't have it both ways. It can't all be rage bait and all be relatable and all be a joke and all be whatever at the same time. It doesn't work that way. And she's finding out the hard way that building a platform based on rage bait can have some real world consequences and implications.
Good morning. So I heard through a little birdie some information about the Nurse Hannah case. So I wanted to just update you guys. And of course, if you have updates and information, you let me know as well. According to this little birdie, and now I'm just bringing secondhand information, so this is just what I was told. This little birdie was contacted by a few people on this app because this person used to work for children and families in that department doing investigations. So the people from this app that reached out to her were like, what do we do? Blah, blah, blah. And she walked them through the process. And according to this little birdie, there were an abundance of reports made against Nurse Hannah and her husband. So there will be an investigation. There is an open investigation. One of the people who reported, one out of many, hundreds, I'm told, was talking to Children and Family Services for 3 hours because this person had an abundance of evidence over a period of time. And from what I'm told, the department is taking this seriously. They're looking at every single bit of evidence that was submitted. They're looking at every angle. They've contacted her job, I'm told, interviewed or spoke to or will be to coworkers. And somehow this person knew that a couple of the coworkers did not give her a very good whatever. They said that she's this and that and the other thing. So I don't know exactly if they've been to her house or when they're going, but there is an open investigation. And of course, if you guys get any new information, keep me updated. My hopes and prayers are that if you've noticed her latest videos, she's being much nicer to the baby. And I just don't, she's not connected to him. I don't know if that's from PPD or she's just not connected, but in her latest video, she is being nicer to him. And that was my hopes and prayers, is that until something is done, that with all this heat on her, at least the baby they would back off the baby. And it looks like that's, at least on camera, that's what they're doing. But I hope that it's, behind the scenes too, because that little boy just deserves. I just want to give him a hug. Every time I see him on a video now, I just want to hug him. He looks so distant sometimes, and I just want to hug that little boy. But you guys, thank you to everyone who took this seriously and reached out to help this little boy, because again, if we're wrong, nobody gets hurt. You know what I mean? She'll recover from this. But if we don't say anything and we're right, that's a lifetime of suffering for somebody. So we need to speak up when we get that mother's intuition. And I think this is just one of those situations where it was necessary. It was necessary. Now, does that mean that we should be doing this to every little thing wrong we see on this app? No. This is the first time I've ever gotten involved on this app, and it's because there's something. But no, that doesn't mean I think that we need to be getting involved in everyone's life. I just think when we think something's that off and it's a child's safety, then I think that we do need to speak up. But anyways, keep me posted if you get updates. I'll keep you guys posted. All the things.
And overall, at the end of the day, just like that commenter said, I just read that comment now with you guys, and I had already alluded to the fact that what she's doing means that she is allowed to completely skirt any type of accountability. Creating a platform like this where nobody knows what's real, yet trying to portray it as genuine and relatable is extremely dangerous, and it can get you put in a very toxic situation very fast, like she's in now. Maybe there is nothing going on. That is a totally valid thing. Or she's, standing up for an abuser, but whatever, it doesn't matter. We don't know what's going on behind closed doors, but the reactions, the body language, the things she says, the snapping, the just checked outness of it, and then him flinching, the food, all of these things are red flags. And even if there's nothing going on behind closed doors, this is the kind of platform that you've created, and it is 100% your fault for creating this kind of toxic environment and bringing children into it. I just can't. I am so ready for this era of rage bait to just die in a hole. Enough is enough. Can we please stop? Please, just stop the rage bait. It's a really toxic place that social media is kind of skirting to, and I cannot wait for TikTok to be banned in the States. And these people are prime examples of why it needs to be banned. It needs to come to a close, especially when children are involved, because it's just not okay. But that's all I have for you guys for today's video. I do hope you enjoyed it. It's not very much a pleasant one to consume. Again, I'm sorry. I know the topics have been heavy. We need someone who's just ridiculous. Maybe we'll do another Adrielle video because she's just pure ridiculousness. We'll just check in on what she's doing. I do hope you guys are having a fantastic day wherever you are in the world. Please don't forget to like and subscribe before leaving. It helps boost these videos into the algorithm, and I truly appreciate it at the end of the day. Talk to you guys soon. Bye, guys.